John Turkington with, I want to say blinds, but beautiful blinds.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That's great.
So, John, I met you through Salem Networks Group.
Yeah.
And Networks of Salem, great networking group.
Yeah.
And how long have you been in that group?
That's a solid question. Without looking, I 2000, is it 18? It's in the teens.
I think you were in there before I was.
Yeah.
So I got in
correct.
2016.
So 13.
It's
was
13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You do blinds.
Yep. And interior window coverings, blind shade shutters, drapes, repairing them, cleaning them. Obviously new. We did the ones here at this studio back in the day when they moved into the facility. Love helping people out. I think that's what I enjoy is people usually have some sort of like an issue or privacy or something like that, and I love to solve those problems. That's just, and meeting new people is really neat. Hearing stories like I didn't know about your fun experiences of life in the past, but it's fun to hear about those things.
Wow, like we backed it up a little bit. Nothing bad.
No, nothing bad. Nothing bad.
Well, we do have the video recording, so we can edit that back in.
Great.
Wow, great.
All right. Yeah, excellent. No.
So what is the Beyond about?
More than just blinds. So the Beyond, I just didn't want to stick with beautiful blinds because then it gets just stuck in a category. Because there's drapes, shutters, also doing more than just the blinds part that's what the Beyond is part. There might be some things coming down the pipeline that will be added in. We'll see how that goes. Been thinking about that, but it's not something I'm ready to
Not ready to release and
yeah.
tell everybody.
So follow along.
Oh, great.
I thought Beyond meant like your service and things like that, because knowing you and how thorough you seem to be on the things that you do that I know, I thought that Beyond had to do with that service level or, how much you put into the attention to detail, things like that. Because I have met you in networks as well. I'm not a regular. I'm kind of a stand-in here and there.
Sure.
But you seem always, what I said, crisp and clean, no caffeine kind of thing. You just have always been super professional and things like that. So I thought Beyond was more of a service-minded response, addition to the beautiful blinds.
That's kind of where it went into a little bit with just the cleaning and the repair part of it. We do quite a bit of repair because also I enjoy saving people money because, for instance, I know the ins and outs on the blinds and the window coverings and that sort of thing. So there was a gentleman out in Southeast Salem just recently that had a shade that was broken, so he called us, we came out. Jaxon took a look at it and he's like, I don't know, I don't have the part on me, let me see if I can get it. We couldn't get the part, so I reached out to the manufacturer and said, hey, there's a shade we can't fix, can't get the part, can we get a replacement? They said, and there's a process to go for formality that you kind of need to know. We ended up replacing all 4 shades in that room, zero cost to the customer, other than our install fee, but zero cost because we couldn't get the shade repaired. So it was still under warranty, and there's some guidelines that you have to follow and prove and that sort of thing, and we did that, and that's what I enjoy about it is full service. He had no idea that this could happen, and he was expecting to pay for all new stuff, but that's not how I work.
That's nice, because usually you go into it, and you're like, ugh, what's this? Here we go.
Expecting the worst.
Yeah, always,
Expecting the worst,
but and that's kind of cool. You get to kind of come in there and do that and just kind of say, hey, this is the advantages that we can do and taking, that's neat. I like that.
If I can.
I love that level of customer service, though. That's really says a lot to who you are and how you run your company. You said you mentioned another name. Do you have staff or?
Yeah, I get to work with Jaxon. Is my son. He's my middle son. He gets He was working for another company, and they slowed down, and I jumped on the opportunity and grabbed
Why
him.
do you? You don't look old enough to have somebody that's already had a son.
When
that
you
has
start at 8, you can do a lot more.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
You're going.
I'm a grandpa times 2.
Like, son, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm a
outta
grandpa
here.
times 2. No.
Wow.
Wow.
Not that I was involved in any of that part, but
Okay.
I mean, I have. So,
Thankfully,
23,
We're really finding out a lot about you, eh, John?
23, 21, and 16.
Wow.
Wow.
Good for
That's
you.
what I got.
Aging well. So something else I remember seeing or heard you talk about, you took up running or you started running more. You're running marathons or something?
No.
What am I hearing?
The endurance. So I enjoy challenging myself. I like, challenging myself. So I've done a triathlon at Hag Lake last year. I did the half marathon in Eugene, and there's some other runs. There's a good run, actually. I don't know if this would be out in time or not, but it's a more of a fun run because you dress up in fancy clothes. Like, people will be running it in wedding dresses and stuff like. Not me. I mean, you can. If you're, I'm not saying no, but it's called the Fanciest 5K.
I'm just seeing you out there.
That'd be epic.
Yeah.
It's Fanciest 5K, and it's all the money is donated towards human trafficking and the victims of that and helping with that. It's in West Salem. Amazing. It's more of a fun run, I say. People are like, oh, I don't do races. I wouldn't call it necessarily a race, but more of a fun run. So that's coming down the pipeline here a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think I participated in a couple little short run fundraising events. There's one coming up in Albany here shortly. It's called Run Your Tutu Off. And
Yeah,
everybody
cool.
wears a tutu,
Tutu, yeah.
men and women. And
It's not a wedding dress. You can get behind
I
it.
was going to say, I'm all in the wedding dress thing.
yeah,
You know,
and I think one of my all-time favorites was I did the zombie run one time for the city of Albany, put it on, and they hired all these people to dress up as zombies,
Okay.
and they would hide, and you're running down the trail, and
Holy
they jump out
moly.
and scare you. And
Oh,
stuff like
man.
that.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that because I'm already just about this side of dying. You know, somebody jump out like,
Done.
that'd be it.
It's
I'd
like
be over.
fainting goats.
Oh,
Well,
exactly what it would be like.
well, back in the day when I did that, I mean, I was in better shape, but I would always pick, okay, there's people coming up, let's look like I'm really running. And then I'd slow down
Oh, yeah.
into a walk.
They look behind, you're like, ah.
I did the color run, that color run thing they'd have at the fairgrounds once in a while.
I looked into that. How was that breathing?
It was fine. You saw it coming up because
Oh,
they're hitting
okay.
other people. So
Okay.
you just hold your breath, kind
There
of,
you
sort
go.
of.
I was
or-
just thinking like
and
breathing.
close your eyes.
Yeah.
Because they're throwing these pouches that bust.
Oh,
And the
okay,
color
that's how
goes
they
out.
do it. Okay.
Yeah, it was really fun. They give you wear a white shirt and stuff, and you get plastered by the end of it. I did that with my daughter and my wife once.
Did any of you participate in the Ironman competition thing that they do here in town?
Nope.
No?
I went down and watched it. You bet.
Right.
There's a lot of people
Right,
I've seen.
swimming and running and
Yeah, that was
bike
fun.
riding. That'd be a lot.
My son's trying to get me to do the Tough Mudder.
Yeah, it's more of an obstacle course.
it's like the
which is
Warrior-
like kind of
Warrior
fun. It breaks
Dash.
it up a little bit.
Yeah, and so like the part about I heard that they have live electricity that they use.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
These kiddos.
Oh yeah.
Bring it on.
oh, where you have to crawl through the mud and there's electrical
Oh, I'll
wires
do
above
that.
you. And
If
it'll
you
zap
commit to, you
Yeah.
made me do the ice bath thing. I should make you do that one because I would love to do that.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Because I mean, right now I'm working out with Chris from Success
Fitness.
Fitness.
Success.
You know, it's quite interesting. Let me tell you.
Oh.
He's got me doing stuff like here, lift your leg. I'm like, okay, lift your
we
leg.
done? One and
There
done?
we go. You know, nothing too intense. It's like I'm surrounded by people that are like elderly in a way. It's just really interesting, And Charles and I are down there doing
Heck
that,
yeah.
and so
Heck yeah.
Is it the Silver Striders that you?
I don't know. It should be though, because it's all about stretching. Like I just the other day, it's like you gotta like lay on your side, and then you stretch your arm out, and you gotta take it all the way to the other side, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
stretch your hips out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like a walking brick, and so like I couldn't stand up and touch my toes. And it's not because of this big old thing here in the middle.
Yeah.
It's just I was not flexible enough. I'm just a walking brick.
Yeah.
And now I can stretch over and touch my palm from all the way over on
There
the
you go.
mat and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's what he's kind of doing. Is he's actually creating like my joints and being limber and things like that. Because I was either going to do Tai Chi, yoga, or that. Yoga sounded way too difficult for me. Tai Chi, I thought I could do
now
that,
that
but
you're,
can I
you're all
stand on one
loosened up
foot?
a
Probably
little
not.
bit, now you're loosened up a
Yeah.
little bit. We can start going doing yoga.
Nah, I'm
No,
okay with
no,
that.
still no.
Still no on the yoga thing.
Oh,
no,
man.
You could do the float thing real well.
there you go. But I was thinking, the Tough Mudder, that's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Because I used to do the workout thing outdoors, and in the mud
Oh,
and stuff,
yeah.
and I
remember
love that
Charles talking
stuff.
about
Well, I'll ask my son about it when the next one coming up.
But we're not here to talk about what you and I would like to do.
Wait,
John,
we have a guest?
John's already. Hey,
Welcome back.
Hey.
I'm like, so I was reading your bio too. What did you do before blinds?
Oh yeah, before blinds, I was a railroad engineer.
Because that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
I really enjoyed it. It was super fun. The challenge was the trains. I said it was freight. It wasn't any passengers. And there's a fun story. Anyway, I can talk about that in a bit. But but it was freight. So the length and the load would always change. So you didn't quite know how much. So I started as a conductor out on the ground, hooking the cars, flipping the tracks and that sort of stuff.
Holding tracks up. No, I'm just kidding.
I was out there, yeah, I would get beeped at quite regularly. I was on the railroad tracks on the front street. That was the most exciting time.
That's where I live, by the way, and I really.
Oh, really?
The trains make me crazy.
It's super loud. I mean, going down there,
Yeah.
you got house and a house to get down
Yeah.
there. I was thinking, I guess people get used to this. I'm not sure, but even just running, not the horn, even just running is loud. The
Yeah.
locomotive, yeah.
My uncle did that, by the way. He was that worked the train.
Really?
He was in IBP. You know where IBP is? Like it's the interchange between like Walla Walla and Tri Cities, right on the Columbia, right there. It's
Yeah.
a big thing.
Yeah,
That's where
big
he
yard
worked
there.
out there. So he did that. And so I've only been on the train that one time, and he showed me how it is. It's a lot of power. Those things are super powerful.
Yeah, they're not
But-
direct drive. It is electric. So you have a regular diesel motor, and then it's an electric motors on the wheels. That way the wheels don't spin. In theory, I mean you're supposed to
Yeah.
feather it so they're not spinning. They don't like that. You
don't
get
punch
get
it?
no nos for no punching it.
Well, the one thing I learned is the more cars you have on it, the better, because you can stop faster. All those types of
Yeah,
things.
you
Is
have
that not
every
right?
car. Every car has brake. Well,
Yeah,
they
brake.
should have working brakes, but we talked about brakes earlier.
Well,
You
mine
don't use
wouldn't.
brakes.
I would. I'd be sticking my foot out trying to
Oh,
stop.
well, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
A balanced train, in other words, where you have loads. If you have a bunch of empties and then you have a loads back there, it's like you go to stop things and eventually you'll feel them. It's like, boom.
So why'd you get out of that then?
Time. Lots of time working, and there was not time for family.
Yeah,
There was a little bit of time. It was when my kids were younger, and I'd come home from work, so I'd be doing nights, because being lower on the totem pole, you get the lower or not as great hours. So I'd come home in the morning, I'd be playing with my daughter at the time, and I'd end up falling asleep on the floor, just exhausted. I looked into several different types of businesses. This one fell into my lap. I never even thought like, ooh, I'm gonna go do blinds. I'm gonna go do window coverings. Like this is my jam. Especially when you're up in a locomotive doing things. So anyway,
you weren't just you weren't sitting there in the train going,
you know what?
blinds. I think that's the answer.
No, that wasn't it. So yeah, it was time. It was just a lot of time in that, and my family is important to me. So
Yeah.
shifted, and so we moved to a new house, to us house, and the couple across the street got to talking with them after being there for a couple of years. They were going to retire and move to Colorado, and they didn't have any kids locally that they could give it to or whatnot. So we worked up a deal for me to buy it.
Oh, very good.
Cool.
That's how that happened.
And it's not a franchise, it's just
Nope.
you?
Yeah, so that was the other thing is I didn't want a franchise and dealing with kind of the corporate thing. I was already in the corporate ladder scenario, so this is a independent company. So I don't buy zip codes. I can do work in Albany. I can do work in Salem. I can do work on the coast, and I don't, I'm not infringing on any other
Very cool.
part of the.
How long you been doing it?
17 years.
17 years.
17 years.
I read his bio.
Hey!
17 years.
But I wanted him to say it.
Oh, hey, so how long have you been doing this? I want to know.
Yeah, 17 years.
17 years, that's good. I mean, when you make it to a certain, I think what's crazy is how many years you've been doing stream?
20 plus years, no.
26, going 27 years coming up for us. And
Oh, really?
it's like, so I'll ask you the question that was asked me that kind of shook me. It's like, what is it today versus when you first took over? What is the biggest surprise in a way? Not really surprise, but like if you look back and you go, wow, I just never would have expected it to be like this after 17 years in business.
I didn't expect the relationships that were going to come with it. I didn't expect the camaraderie, and I was looking to be of service, but I didn't realize that it was going to serve me. I was looking to serve other people and help other people, but what I found out is the connections with different clients, different people in the valley, people. Like I said earlier, the stories of people are super intriguing. Everybody's different. Everybody has a story, and that's the diversity I think I really enjoy and learn.
Well, you get to go into people's homes. You get to go into people's businesses. So it's personal at a different level.
Totally. I mean, so homes are definitely obviously more personal than businesses, but so usually, going around a home, it's interesting to me. I've noticed it over time. So, we'll start in the family room, we'll start in the main spaces, the kitchen, this area, and then they'll get to bedrooms, and then they'll get to the main bedroom or bathroom, right? So it's like the ease of one's home and the comfortability of like, that's your space. This is where you get your rest, where you recoup, where your calm is.
Your private space,
right?
yeah.
Your private space. That's very that's a big deal. So it's an honor to be able to be comfortable. People are like, many times, it's like, hey, can we come? Got the blinds coming in. Can we come and install those? Oh yeah, here's the passcode. Go in and do yourself. I was like, you can be there. We can do it with you there. It's like, no, go do your thing. Please lock the door. Don't let the cat out. Don't let the dog out.
That's a huge compliment, though. I mean, that really says a lot. I mean, that's quite a compliment when people say, "Oh, we don't even need to be there because we know it's you."
Oh, I'm super honored. The places I've been, like the Salem Capitol building, the courthouse, there's Oregon State Police. To get in there without being chauffeured or whatever, the amount of hoops, which is there's a reason for it, but the backgrounds and the hoops that you need to go through to like the Oregon State Police, that's where they do backgrounds on the firearms. Like, there's people's stuff in there but to be able to do that and to be trusted, that's a huge compliment to me. One house that was super memorable to me, I was there this was several years back, 5 years back, something like that. It was a past congressman here that I was installing, and his wife was like, I'm going to go to the store. And he had come out, he wanted to chit chat with me, and we're learning he raised he found a den of coyotes, and he raised a pup coyote because the mom got ran over. So we're talking about that, and I had my back to him, and all of a sudden he stopped talking. I was like, doing my thing. And then I looked back, and he was his heart was stopped. It was stopping, shall we say. And I didn't know it, but the day before or the day prior to that, he had heart surgery. I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
And he was talking, and all of a sudden he wasn't. So I looked back, and we're in heart failure mode. Didn't know what was going on. I was checked real quick, like, is he playing with me? What's going on?
Oh, that
His
would
wife's
be-
gone. Nobody else is in the house. So he was sitting on the couch at the time, and so I set him over sideways, not on his back because of the tongue thing and everything like that. Tried calling his wife. Wife wasn't answering. As 911 it is. So I called 911, and they got there super duper quick. And there were other things happening. He was in shutdown mode for himself. I didn't know it at the time, but the ambulance is there, and I show him where he's at and that sort of stuff. They got him wheeled out. I was there to do blinds. This is the divine appointments that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like you just,
God moments.
yeah, one of those God moments. You just don't know. And she pulls in. I'm able to there comfort her and let her know, hey, everything's fine. They're here. Golden. Hope you had a great time shopping. You take off. I got the house. I'll shut things up. You need to follow your husband, right? And that was a super neat moment for me. I was able to do some cleanup stuff with
Yeah,
some
that would be
things
like-
that happened.
You saved his life.
And apparently, yeah, I was a part
Wow.
of saving that guy's life. It was.
Man, after you got all done with that and you sat in your car.
Oh right,
would
I
be
was
like-
like,
Like, did that just
Just a dump. I
that
just
just happened. Yeah, and, it
because
was,
in the moment, you're like, I
I
just
make it happen moment. Yeah.
no. I think it's cool. Being a pizza guy, it's like you meet people at Safeway. You're like, hey, it's like because you become, as a pizza guy, you're constantly there at their house on a regular
yeah.
basis. Now we don't get to go to the level that you go to as far as being in the house and things like that, but it's amazing that when you work with people in the community, as you meet people one at a time, especially with 17 years in the books,
Yeah.
you bump into people and you're like, oh yeah, hey, I recognize you,
Yeah, I tend to recognize people. Sometimes the names don't always hit. Like I know that person from somewhere.
Do you look at people and go,
The faces to their blinds, is that what you
yeah,
Oh, I know what you know.
Yeah,
I know,
you're like,
I know.
hey,
I got those great verticals.
Yeah, look at you.
you're the living room with the, I just,
I hope they're still working. Good. Okay.
yeah, but you've had to probably been in some pretty cool houses that, like the views and things like that, or different things where you're like, this is actually really cool to
Yeah.
find the unique niches of where people that are at. And
different people have different tastes. So yeah, there's a variety. Like I said, the uniqueness of people. I think the saying it goes, everybody's been taken, so be you. Be your unique self. That's the joy of the world. I see. Like, if we're cookie cutter, that's boring to me. But finding the uniqueness of you and honing that and being you is powerful, in my opinion.
So on the blind company, you said there's some things coming. Are you at a point where you're just do you want to grow more? Do you want to scale more? What does that look like for you? You've been doing it for 17 years. You just dialed in, and you're in that zone where you can just continue where you're going, and
Yeah.
do you after 17 years, like after a certain period of time, you start thinking about what your exit would be?
Yeah, the out. I'm not in that zone for the out at this moment. I'm looking at the ways to hand it off to my son,
Okay.
and so with that, I want to set them, both my boys actually, up for success, and so that's where looked at maybe adding a different style of product with it, coming from the beyond part. And so that's where that's where that would be coming from.
Well, it's good that you're open to expand that too. So you're always thinking outside the box. It's like what you can do. And also probably with your sons involved, they probably have their own ideas of what they would like to add to the mix as well. But do you know that 90% of businesses don't go to the next generation?
No, that's
Yes.
a good.
That really shocked
true.
me. And I didn't believe it when I heard it. I was like, nah, it's not possible. But now that
90%.
I've heard
Yeah.
that, I pay attention to that a little bit more. But yeah, 90% of businesses do not go to the next generation.
Yep.
Okay.
And so I think that that's
Wow.
really awesome that you're looking into that direction, and Jaxon is that something that, I mean, have you and Jaxon talked about that kind of stuff?
Or
you're like,
the way
When
it
I'm
worked-
gone, you get all
By
this.
the way,
Yeah.
no. A few years back, that just wasn't in the cards. Just with the way things were a few years back, and so last couple of years with him being on and working and being in it, I didn't know if it was going to be fit. I don't want to force it on him.
Right.
So, I honestly, when I hired him, I didn't know if it was going to be a fit for him because I want it to be for him. I mean, because I can understand a little bit of where the 90% comes from. Is usually when you start a business or you have a passion for something, it doesn't have to be business or something, right? You have more of the fire in you. So, passing the baton off, that fire might not be, again, a person. They have a different point of view. They could have a different passion. Could be art, could be something else. So I can see why the next generation, I mean, 90 is pretty high up there, but I can see where that comes from.
Well, I looked at it, because my son was doing with me for 7 years.
Okay.
And going and trying to get him to grow and do things like this.
Yep.
It's difficult because they're in a way inheriting all that you had kind of built, and it's hard for them to go back to the beginning, and that's where a lot of that grit is created. That whole
true.
like you're gonna fail, all that stuff is there, and so handing a successful business off to a child is it's got its own challenges and stuff, and not only from where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's like this is my legacy too, and do you want to put that on them? Yeah. And so there's a lot of different balances when you talk about that 90%, but there's factors in it that a lot of people don't look at. They just look at the success of the business or the money or all that kind of stuff, and it's like it's so much more than that, and it's getting them to understand the grit, like what it takes, because if things aren't going well, how do you do that, and how do you
gotta bear
teach that if
down
it's
or
already
what?
a successul business, that you are the one protecting all of that, in a way. And so I think it's interesting. It takes a little bit. How long has Jaxon been working in?
About 2 years, yeah.
So he's he's understanding the business right now.
Yeah, he's pretty cut teeth on it. Like he's gotten past that part and learning different dynamics in it. But there's things that come up. Just 2 days ago, he's like, "Oh, I didn't realize that." He's like, "There's going to be new. There's going to be learning throughout it." And I mean, I'm still learning new and stuff. And I think that's why one of the things I like about it. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's the same.
Always
for-
learning something new.
Yeah.
I think it's really great. My kids are older than you, Justin, that you met fishing.
Okay.
And he's in his 30s now. And it was really funny because I don't know, about 10 years ago, he texted me, he goes, "Dad, I love you." He goes, "I want to tell you something. Now I know why you retired and why you work so hard," because he owns his own business too, and he's a contractor and he does his stuff. And he goes, "Now I see."
Yeah.
And he goes, "And I thank you for all that." And so that it takes a little while sometimes, and they learn it. But
Well, sometimes the best way is to learn is to jump in and fail. Mm-hmm. Like you can look at it as a loss, or you can look at it as a learning point.
yeah,
And some people realize like, I don't want to do that because I might fail. I might look stupid. I might. Well, that's when the rubber meets the road. That's when the real glue sticks. Sometimes is in the failures. Is like, gosh, I could take that as a learning moment, or I can take that as I've lost. I'm a loser. But it's stacking those losses. You can actually come with a whole book of wins, because you can see the good in it. It's perspective. It's kind of like we'll go back to the radio. Like, if you're not tuned into the FM channels, you're not going to get the FM channels. But if you're tuned into the AM channel, you'll miss all the FM. So tuning into the right station gets you your out. What you focus on is going to get bigger. I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, failure is just a learning tool.
Well, I always think of it. There's a part in the Batman series where he's down in this big old pit, and he's trying to get out of this pit. He's been thrown down this pit where people just end up perishing, whatever. And there's kind of a way you can crawl up this well, but he gets to a certain point, and he's got a harness on. And so as soon as he tries to get to the next one, they always fall down. They get injured, hurt. They rebuild themselves to try to get up the well again. There's a moment where he realizes that he keeps failing when he does that, and he finally asks the guy, "How can I do this? How am I going to be able to get out of this well? You know, I've got things I've got to get done. You know, and because I'm working out, I'm doing all these things, but I can't get out of it." He goes, "You got to take the harness off." And I think that's the one thing about with kids and people that get into business is when you're new in the business, you have no harness, but when you're like with your son taking over things like that. And clearly, this is personal to me. That's why I keep touching on it because I see what you're going to be going through. You know, it's you got to take. They've got to understand they can't have that harness in order to get to where they need to get to be able to be successful. And that is a very difficult and very tricky situation to try to teach somebody. Is that fear and all the things that come in with making you strong enough to be able to get through that? Because in 17 years. You know, you took over a business that was already successful and existing and all that stuff, but you still had to make your adjustments to turn it into what it is today. You know, and how many years did that take for you to make that adjustment?
Well, I wouldn't recommend jumping in 2008 when we did.
Well,
Note to me.
I wasn't too far before you. 2005 when I started my shop.
Okay, so you had a few
Couple
miles on
years
the road,
going like this, and then
Oh, so you bought it at
and just flatlined for a little bit there. Jumping in right then, I wouldn't suggest again. But
that's a huge feather in your cap, though, because if you started at that time and you were able to survive and make it, man, that's a.
There was I remember a couple of times it was like, not gonna happen, and then I started looking at. I believe there's divine appointments.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must
throughout life, and you won't see them every day. You might even see here and there, but I think there's connections made every day that we just don't know about, and with that, and I say that is because it was like it's not gonna make it, and then this phone call happens or this text comes through. It's like I didn't reach out, they didn't know. There's no way. Like that was a divine thing that pulled us through. But
I think in business though, like we go through ups and downs, and just when I start getting worried about expenses coming up or meeting payroll or something like that, and my customers aren't paying their bills, and I got to pay my payroll and stuff, and it just all comes together, and I just had to learn to stop worrying about it, because if you do the right thing every time and you're putting out your best effort and you have the good values and you're doing all the things that you need to do, I think it's all going to come back to you. So let's hear about John. What do you do for fun besides running?
That's not always fun, running, but
it's not like any fun at all.
You do it for a reason.
I do it for a reason. I do like to push myself. So, I enjoy the outdoors. I've archery hunted 39 years.
Oh, very cool.
This year was 39 years. So, the outdoors. I have 4 brothers. I think the outdoors has just been a way to reconnect, disconnect to reconnect. I think is what they say a lot, but I've had some of my best memories out just in God's creation. Just some of the hikes, some of the bloopers. My son and I, one blooper real quick. my son and I went on a hunting trip. So we packed up the rig and we had a utility trailer. I flipped this aluminum John boat upside down and strapped it onto the on top of everything on the trailer. We're going up this super washboardy, bumpy road to get up to Olive Lake is where we were going. And I was like, there's something in the road up here, huh? So I looked out, or I stopped. I looked out at it, and it was, I forget what it was. It was nothing. But then I walked back to my rig. I'm like, oh, cool. And the side had popped off, and the back was kind of open. So for the last, I don't know how many miles, we were dropping our gear.
Oh.
All of our gear was just coming out of the utility trailer. I was like, well, this will be interesting. So at that moment, a car full of guys pulled up, a truckload. I was like, hey, you need anything? I was like, we're going to unload, we're going to unhook this trailer and go get our stuff. He's like, you stay here, we'll go get it. Couldn't believe it. Boat motor, gas, coolers, water. It all came back except for one socket out of my tool chest.
10
They
inch?
literally got everything.
Was it the 10-inch socket?
It was the 8-inch.
Everyone knows a 10-inch.
It goes everywhere. Funniest thing. So we both look at each other just like,
How fortunate.
You gotta laugh. This one's great.
Yeah. What a story. That's
what a
it's
deal.
a lifetime story to tell.
What a deal.
So what do you hunt for?
My passion is for elk, archery elk.
Oh, wow.
And so with archery, you can hunt within the rut, and the bull are a lot more receptive to calling, coming into things. They're kind of get a
A
little.
lot of people don't know what you mean by rut.
Okay, so the breeding season for elk is when that starts happening. The male.
Yeah, the bull.
Bull elk get a little crazy, and it's just a more exciting time. I've been like just 8-10 feet in front of me on the other side of this tree. I've had an elk come in, and he was super mad because I was acting like a female elk and I wasn't coming to his calls, and so he ran down this hill, stopped on the other side of the tree and screamed. They bugle and screamed, and I couldn't do anything. I was frozen. I was like, what am I doing with a string and a bow? I mean, a bow and bonus
Yeah, well, you're doing
arrow with this big thing. He screamed like, get your rear end over here.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, well, I can't do anything right now. Might have wet my pants.
God, because elk, people don't realize how big elk are.
Oh, monsters.
Because we have a lot of deer and like 4 Points and things like that out where I lived. And you have those around, you have all that stuff. And then you see an elk and you're like, oh my goodness, that is
They're big.
a big animal.
And when they can run really fast.
Yeah. I just don't think, people that have never like been around horses and things like that, they see on TV, they see all that stuff, and you just don't get the true scope of how big an elk is. To be that close to it, yeah, I could see why you'd be stumbling like crazy.
Yep.
Like,
no shots were taken at that moment. I could not pull myself together.
yeah. What's your biggest elk?
My biggest elk is in Oregon, 6x6 bull elk.
So do you
was
do you have racks and stuff at your house too? Then do you? They have it mounted.
My house is definitely geared for guys.
Yeah.
So there is elk heads and deer heads, and my son, without any hands, he shot a ram with his bow, and he has that in his room too.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. There's a YouTube video out there about it.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to find it.
Yay.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's great. Well, I've got family that do a lot of bow hunting and things,
Yeah.
and it's having guns and things like that's very different. But in a bow, when you're hunting, especially elk hunting, when you said elk, I was like, wow.
Elk hunting.
They don't just stop when the minute you shoot them. Even if you get a good shot, you're not going to drop them.
You got to
right
be
away.
super
They're
accurate.
going to still go out, and they're going to still run.
Yeah, they are very hardy creatures.
So what's your best shot then? Like what's your target? Is it depending on how the elk is positioned, or because if you're usually out and you're a hunter, you have a lot of respect for nature, you have a lot of respect for the animals and things like that. And so, what is your best case scenario when you're trying to put down an elk?
My goal is the quickest, to put them down the quickest. That's my goal. I will not take shots if there's brush or something. My arrow can deflect super easy. I can make a bad shot through that. So it has to be, I practice 2 times the distance that I'm comfortable shooting. So say for 50 yards, I will be practicing at 100 yards. So then when an opportunity comes within 50 yards, that's going to be a chip shot for me. I'm going to feel confident. I know my equipment, I know my gear, and I can make an ethical, practical shot.
You must have a big freezer.
I enjoy game meat. I went fishing with my brother in Alaska this year. We went halibut fishing. First time I've been halibut fishing. Ended up, I think he said it was 85 pounds or something.
Wow.
Halibut. And that was the first fish in the boat, though. And he's like, hold on, everybody, hold on. The line's up here right now. We need to come down here for reality of what we're going to catch today.
Yeah.
Well, you set that bar really high.
Yeah, I did. I think I must have dropped the line right on the fish because it was like right away. I was like, oh gosh, there's something on this. He's like, yeah, right. Just get it in. You're weak.
Normally hit the sandbar. They're not big fighters usually.
Not till he got to. Well, it was. He says it's like pulling up a piece of plywood or something, right, or something along those lines. Until they get up to the surface, they're not a big fan.
Do you want to do your rapid fire questions?
I can, yeah. Let's
rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Buckle up.
I don't know about these.
Yeah. So yes or no, most of them, or pick one. But coffee or tea to start your day,
Coffee.
except for today at Networks.
Nope. Brought my coffee.
Yeah. Book that changed your life.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Favorite guilty pleasure TV show or movie?
What was the question?
Favorite guilty pleasure TV show or a movie?
Probably movie.
You're supposed to add to that, or video games.
Because
James.
Yeah, our last guy was like, video games. James goes, video games.
Oh, yeah, video games. I got into video games because of my boys.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm not, I'll watch.
What do you play?
Apex Legends seems to be a go-to. Fortnite is what got me into it, like first-person shooter stuff, right?
Yeah.
But now they have this, we're doing this new one, like 7 Days to Die, zombie one.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It's like Minecraft, but you can just kick it up 10 times because it's zombies and that sort of stuff.
I'm sorry, pause.
It's
quick
horrible.
pause.
It's horrible.
My kids, they'd like Halo or something. And they would do this. Yeah. And they're there, and I've got to shoot them. And they'd stand there and go, Dad, go ahead. Take a shot. So I'm like, brah, 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 and they just walk up, stab. That's all I get.
No.
So I'm like, how can you survive this? And so I'm usually like the sacrificial lamb when it comes to video games.
I'll go in.
It's like, all right, guys. If they ever want an ego boost, Dad, come play.
Well, the funny thing is so my youngest, Izzy, was born without any hands and no feet. He's the one that actually can kick our butt. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting trounced by all these digits by somebody that doesn't even have hands.
And what's crazy about that too, Moon? This is really kind of a good thing for people to realize, that people see disabilities or they see these types of things, and they have all these assumptions and all that kind of stuff. And some of the strongest people I know, it's funny how you got to get past that, or people have got to get past that sometimes.
Sometimes they can do things way better than full mobility, shall we say.
No excuses.
Yeah. No, I see. Okay, so back to rapid fire. My bad.
How rapid are we going?
Well, I was working on
we
that.
We got caught. Yeah.
One word your friends would use to describe you?
Probably funny.
Funny?
One word.
Is that your final answer? Funny.
That's my final answer.
Okay.
Super rapid here.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
I not done karaoke, so
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, I can't do karaoke. And I'm like, nah.
Let's
Go ahead.
say if you did.
Gangster's Paradise. How about that one?
If you could master one new skill, what would it be?
Listening better.
Who inspires you right now?
Probably my boys.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning. I used to be a night owl, but shifty shift.
What's one thing on your bucket list that you would like to complete?
Skydiving. Haven't done it. Threatened to do it, and it just hasn't worked out.
We've had this discussion before.
Have we?
I'd love to do skydiving.
Okay.
I've got certain things I cannot do. Like I've done a zip line. Did the Acapulco one, went across the bay
Yeah.
and all that. Oh,
Yeah.
it's great. Bungee jumping. Would you do bungee jumping or not?
It's
I've
the-
done parasailing.
It's the coming back up. That was
Yoink.
You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
probably would do it. Yeah.
Oh, just wait for it. Wait for it.
Yeah,
Wait, it's not happening. It's not happening.
I would
Wait
like,
for it. Oh, wait. It's not coming yet.
you just hear that noise. Doing. What was that noise?
I love the
The last
carnival
thing.
rides or whatever. I've seen some videos of this where guys like, oh shoot, I forgot to buckle you in. Hang on.
I love
Those are
those.
good.
I love
Those
those.
are good.
And this is what the best part about doing this podcast with Mike is we really get to know people at a different level. Like,
Yeah.
got to know some more stuff about you and stuff like that. And so thanks for coming on to the show. And
You want to do one more goodbye? You want to say goodbye one more time?
Oh, Arthur did a great job.
You good
I'll
on
do.
that?
Oh, I'll do it. Goodbye too.
Okay, okay.
No, you're fine.
Okay, good.
All those-
this is how it goes.
No.